Hi all, this is Paras. Namaste to all of you. So, on the occasion of World International Women's Day, I love to share with you 8 powerful women in the field of coaching who have been doing their work inspiring people locally and globally. Yes, 8 powerful faces. So in this video, I'm going to talk to them, want to hear their stories, want to hear their success, want to hear their dreams, and also the strengths, what took them from just not inspiring self, but transforming communities at their own capacity. So are you interested to know and learn more about them? Yes, let's go for it.
Jayshree is Executive Director, Alchemy, a boutique consulting and coaching firm. Originally a mathematical economist, Jayshree rewrote her life script 16 years ago and chose to become a facilitator of human processes. She found a calling in coaching and has coached for more than 3,500 hours so far. Clients experience Jayshree as a coach for balance, balancing the dichotomies to task and relationships, agility and stability, compassion and logic. It is implicit that such balancing leads to extraordinary results for individuals as well as organizations. Jayshree is the president-elect of the ICF Pune chapter and pays forward to the community of coaches. So let's meet Jayshree today and know more about her success stories on the occasion of International Women's Day.
Hi, Jayshree, and thank you so much, and namaste to you, and happy Women's International Day today. And Jayshree, I know you're a coach, you are a trainer, you're a corporate trainer. You've been doing so many work, and also you are a president-elect of ICF Pune chapter. So, being a woman entrepreneur, okay, how has been your journey? I'd like to know more about it.
Thank you so much, first of all, Paras, for inviting me to be a part of this enchanting collage that you're making. So grateful. Okay, so when you're talking about the journey, I think it is a journey of 16 years, and I mean, rather than it is just not the journey of entrepreneurship. I think it is the journey of becoming a professional, becoming a person. So I think as the firm grew, I grew myself. And as in our coaching world, I think with our coaches, we are bound to grow. Mm-hmm. So as a person, I grew when I encountered different kinds of situations, different types of people, different waves of also economic ups and downs. I think when I encountered that in last 16 years, I think I've got a good dosage of everything. I think it contributed to my growth as a person. So that's what I would say.
Lovely. And when you see our country, India is a collective society, and there is a particular role for genders when it comes to. So, what does feminism mean to you today?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a very strong word that you're using. And as I understand the way at least feminism was described initially, that is the equality of genders, equality of sexes, having equal rights and equal rights in power, I would say. I think, and it is in a way sad also to see that after so many years and so many decades, we are still even using that word. So that itself says I think still the need to establish the equality of genders again and again. That's my take on it.
So what I hear from you is more about how we have, as women, you have moved ahead, and you've seen many women growing, and still the fundamental question is coming as,
yes,
what is feminism is still existing as a whole? It's a very interesting point, Jayshree. So just very, very curious to check with you. What is your truest sense of being a woman?
That's interesting. And as a woman, I'm saying that there is a feminine and there is a masculine, and these are just two types of energy. And Yin and yang is my favorite visual. So I think there is there is that white dot inside that black, and there is a black dot inside that white. So I think each of these genders have each of these. It is just that one is more pronounced than the other, and that is why a woman perhaps demonstrates more feminine than masculine. Not to say that she doesn't have any masculine qualities at all. To my mind, woman is a generative person. She's tenacious and she's resilient. So it is not for nothing that life chose to live through her.
That's pretty very deep and insightful when you talked about the yin and yang, and in our Hinduism and Indian culture, it's called as Ardhanari Nateshwara, the man and the
Correct.
woman, and
Yes.
how we also talk about the same.
Correct.
And it looks like you're a person with a lot of inner journey, a lot of person who does a lot of deep diving work. So I'm just checking with you, how has been your experience or notice about the judgmental attitude downplayed to women professions in their career roles? So what has been your experience here?
Yeah, I think this is something that came to me as a unpleasant surprise, because I was not brought up in a home like that, right? So I was brought up in a home which treated women equally, and I never grew up thinking that because of my gender I'm anything different or anybody different from the opposite gender or the other gender. So only after I started interacting as a professional, this kind of came as an unpleasant blow, and that sort of made me look within, and I said, the way I kind of started reacting to it, I realized, oh my God, I mean, this is what it is. So I think there have been occasions when, if I am, let's say, traveling with my my male colleague, often people would think that if she's a woman, then that means she's junior to him. If I'm facilitating a workshop with a male co-facilitator, often people would think that she has a secretarial role. So her role is to take down notes and perhaps maybe later type it out and send it to everybody as minutes of meeting. And also. I think I've also experienced people making advances, because you might think people might sometimes think that if she's a woman and she appears so independent in her thinking, and also sometimes radical in her approach, then that means she's an available woman, right? So that is another way I have also faced, and all these things when they happened for the first time, every time I was angry, very angry, sometimes hurt. But then I think I have realized that one needs to point out sometimes, and sometimes let people just experience. I mean, I don't have to really, establish my power by saying, "Hey, I am the boss. He is not the boss." I don't have to say it. If people see it through my work, then they will automatically respect me, and that is what has happened in the last so many years. But I have faced judgmental attitudes. People have actually gone to the extent of saying, "Okay, so he's the colonel and you are the lieutenant colonel." Because the automatic assumption is that man and woman are facilitating together, then the woman is a co-facilitator. She cannot be the leader. So many such judgmental comments I've experienced.
And it's a sad to hear, when you're battling with all these demons, not just outside but internally.
Yeah.
That questioning whether what is this really going on, because women has advanced to their move, but the perceptions of people at some places are still struggling. So,
Yes.
So what strengths have you really demonstrated? Because when you say that I don't need to claim for my position, I am what I am. So.
Right.
Having that attitude in yourself, okay, how has been your success story? What have you done differently?
I think my the strengths that I've brought to table and I still bring to table is my thoroughness in any subject. So I really go deep into any subject if I choose to take it up, and my penchant for excellence. So I think that kind of stands out. Also, over a period of time running a company, we've always kept the client at the center. So, is the client deriving any value from whatever we have to offer? Again, when the people see, the client especially sees the value from whatever you have to offer, whatever intervention you're suggesting or you're coaching, that automatically builds respect. If I have to say that I am powerful, then I think in the first instance itself, it means I'm not powerful.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it is so very deep rooted when people claim that I'm something, and the need for the claim, and you're not required if you're what you are.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting. And so my question, it may come up from another school of thoughts, but I'm just going to ask you, and I'm going to hear your reactions to it. I have never got anybody asking me that, hey Paras, how do you juggle your personal and professional life? But I have heard many women have been asked this question by many men or many women by the other female colleagues. So isn't that a question of sexist? What do you think? What is your take on that?
It is, of course. And I think that is very deep rooted, right? In our beliefs that a woman is expected to take care of the home and a man doesn't have to worry as long as he's hunting and getting the meat home. He doesn't have to worry as to how that stone hut looks like, or how it's cooked. I think it just goes back to those ages, and we are still carrying it. But as you must be knowing yourself, Paras, I think our brains don't develop as fast as we would like to be. So there are so many things that are still so deeply ingrained. So I won't really blame people for even asking those questions, because very often I have seen that they're just doing it so innocently. They don't know any other way, right? Because they think this is the correct understanding of a man and woman distribution of work. So I won't really blame them, but yes, I find it very amusing that this question is never asked to a man as to, hey, how do you manage your work life? They would say, okay, work-life balance, and by that they might mean, do you get enough time to play tennis, or do you get enough time to learn guitar? They might not really mean that you get enough time to look after your child's studies or any such thing. But yes, when this question is asked to the woman, the underlying assumption is that her primary duty is towards the home, husband and the children, and thereafter then whatever else she needs to or she wants to pursue, well, that must come as the second priority. I think that's the primary assumption behind this question.
And rightly said, because this whole assumption has created such kind of innocence, because people are not aware, but people are just doing it unconsciously.
Yes.
So what is the message that you want to give it to all the men who are watching this video of yours, who are innocently communicating, and all the women who are not yet speaking, hey, this is not okay, or this is okay? So what would you like to talk to them? What would you like to share with them?
Right. That's an interesting question. And I don't know whether I'm in the position to give a message to anybody, but I suppose, it is important that we pause and just explore. Whenever we want to ask a question or we want to pass a judgment, we may want to pause and just ask what is really going on behind this, and what is lying beneath this. How much of my personal bias is coming in here, and that's for men as well as for women, because I know that people think that if I've been a professional and whatever coach, that means I have sorted all my life struggles. But that's not true. I think that is again a very wrong assumption, right? So it just means that I just am more aware of my struggles. That's about it. So I think my message to men would be, please give a chance to anybody. And it is not, it is gender, yes, because we're talking about it on Women's Day. But it is also about many different judgments that we really hold, right? About language, about ethnicity, about any other preferences, education for that matter. So I think just take a moment to pause and ask, what is the judgment that I am holding in this moment? And for the women, I think it is important that we question our own limiting beliefs, because I have gone through that struggle, right? I mean, if I were to accept anything on a Saturday evening or a Sunday evening, I have really gone through that struggle as to does it mean that I am doing injustice to my family? Does it mean that I am being uncaring towards my kids, right? So I think it is important that we challenge our own limiting beliefs.
And it's so powerfully put up by you. There's this critical voice which keeps talking and taunting and
Yes.
creating this guilt and regrets of, are you doing enough as a role of a homemaker or a wife or a mother? Okay, so what is your take on shatter the glass ceiling or aim for the sky? What would you recommend?
Oh, aim for the sky. Because see, glass ceiling, I mean, proverbially now it is used for women. But I guess even men reach a glass ceiling due to some other barrier. So it may not be gender as a barrier, it could be some other barrier. So why talk about shattering the glass ceiling only for women? I think it is about aim for the sky. Just see what's the highest possibility. And like a horizon which we never touch, but if we don't aim for it, we will reach nowhere.
And rightly said, I think it is aim for the sky, because the sky is filled with opportunities, and just
Yes.
not bind yourself with this thought of I'm held back on the grounds. And there are a lot of women who come for coaching, and I'm sure when they come at the life age where they want to start something new, or they've taken a long break. Okay, and as it cannot be put them into a productivity as a work, because if you're doing a home job and taking care of kids for long, and now you want to start your own, the feeling that comes up that I need to do something for my family. Yeah, so the question is that a lot of women who come who are in their midlife crisis, or women who take a long break and they wish to start something new. Okay, what do you think? What are the opportunities for women who come from a long break and want to find their purpose and passion? Do you think that the industry still look for them, or what is your take? What is your say on that?
Good question. And I think there are some corporates which are doing a very, very conscious effort to get women back into the main work stream after a long break. But there are, I think, a lot of them still who would look with suspicion as to, I mean, how much has she lost, and has she really kept herself at pace with the way technology is changing? And that is, I think, valid for anybody who would want to come to the same field after a long break. But the other point that you were saying about finding the passion and purpose, I think it is very important to also again use that break to find, so what do I really want to do? Because most of women and men at that 22 years of age have chosen what the society thought was the best for them. And I think taking a break for whatever reason would give us that opportunity to explore. Like I did that. I mean, 16 years back, I came into the applied psychology, and then coaching followed, etc. But before that, I took 1 year of break between my mathematical economics and psychology. Wow. And that year, 1 year break where it was not, I mean, of course, I was engaged, but not very highly paid. But in that period, I discovered that I could do much more with what I've got. So I think using that break to discover what I really want, what is my true calling, where do I feel at home, and what's the best use of my time? You mentioned the word productivity, right? I think what is the best use of my time? That's a crucial question that women need to answer, especially when women come to me who have been homemakers for a really long time, and now they want to get back to doing something meaningful with their life. They feel that most of the things in their home will just stop functioning if they start taking up anything extra, because that is how many years have gone by. But going back to my economics training, we use the Ricardian principle, which means, okay, you may be very good at doing 10 different things, but what are those things where you are adding the best possible value? choose those and devote your time, energies, and mind space there. I think that's the key to productivity. Some things might get done at a mediocre level. Some things might just fall by the wayside. But that's all right. You've still added the best possible value that you could. And that's how I tried.
I've really got this tutorial of economics 101 right now. That was fabulous. And it's a great to learn about from economics and applied psychology. It's such a beautiful and interesting learning to have. Now, as we all know, you shared that you have very less time. So I'm just going to ask you one more final question.
Sure,
And it's very simple. There are a lot of women who are watching you and learning a lot of your insights about what you have to share. And it's so pretty rich. So what is one message that you want to give it to all the women who are struggling or who want to find their purpose in life? What is that one thing that you would like to share with them?
I think one thing that at least I have learned, and that is what I would like to share, is value yourself.
Wow.
So if you value yourself, you will value your time, you will value your talent. And if you value yourself, people will value you. Whoever it is, right? Or any significant stakeholders in your life will value you only if you value yourself. So value yourself. Love yourself.
That's so profound, Jayshree. That's so profound about because I think the most important thing is to value yourself and always pause back. What I learned from you is just pause back and explore. Am I really doing that in any situation if I get stuck? I think that's such a powerful space. So if people want to reach you, Jayshree, I'm sure there will be a lot of your fan followers, but from this video, people want to watch you, reach you, meet you. So how they can connect back to you?
So of course, one is you could look at my LinkedIn profile. So if you type Jayshree Kirtane, you could get to my profile. There is my personal website, which is DAO of Possibilities, TAO of possibilities.com. There is company website, which is alchemy.co.com. So, and Facebook, of course.
That's lovely. And again, I would love to wish you happy International Women's Day. And it's an honor to have you and inspiring so many people. And yes, thanks for inspiring Pune. We are all blessed to have you there with us. So have a great day ahead. And thanks once again.
Thank you. Thanks, Paras. Thank you very much.
Thank you.